I'm in a situation. If you guys don't know what I'm doing right now, you should go check out my other video. What that other video is, in short. Okay, that needs to go up. What that other video is, in short, it's called the human torque wrench experiment. And if you pass 36, so it's called the human torque wrench experience. If you watch that video, you know exactly what I'm doing right now. All of this will make perfect sense to you. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. I'm not going to sit here and explain it again, but I just thought I'd show you guys that this is how I'm torquing the main caps here, or the main caps, the freaking whatchamacallit. You know what I'm getting at here. Wow. Go back. Should be coming up on 14 pretty soon. Human torque wrench experience. Watch that video. Ah, shit. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Yay! So now we get to go back. Go back and try again. There it goes. That's really light on something like this. So, yeah, this is going to be a real experience. Okay. Now, for the test. Doing it that many times. Breaker bar. See if we can get 14 foot-pounds on this. That's it right there. We're gonna start off. Oh. Yeah, guys, this really works. And I know this sounds crazy, and I know I'm doing another video on it when I shouldn't be. I said I wasn't gonna explain it, but setting this to 14 foot-pounds. Torque wrench was at 15 when it actually started to turn this bolt again, but it wouldn't turn it at 14. So we're gonna try it again. Human torque wrench. And you can't see anything, which kind of sucks because my resolution on my camera is really bad. But if you want to try it at home, feel free to try it at home and see how close you can get. I see that's 14, but it feels like it's a little too weak. To be completely honest, I'm feeling a little bit of binding. I see that's 14. So, now we grab the torque wrench. We start off at 14. If it clicks, we know that you're right. If it turns, we know that we were too low. If it clicks, we know that we were either too high or too if it clicks, we know that we were either too low or too high or right on. And then we can move up an inch-pound until it starts to move. If it doesn't click, we know that it was too loose. So it's at 14. Let's see. Yeah, hear it? Not sure how much time I have left, but how much time I have left? 3 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to turn it up to 15. And it's way down at the bottom. I know you guys can't see it because my resolution is shitty. But we're going to turn it up to 15 and see if it turns. Is 1 foot-pound torque, okay? And I did that with the breaker bar. Still clicking, so it was a little bit too tight. Okay, put it at 16 foot-pounds. Oh, barely clicked. 17. Try to hurry up and do this. Oh, it moved a little bit. 18. And it's moving. 18 foot-pounds. So it took, I was only off by 4 foot-pounds, and I pulled a little bit longer than I thought I should have. So this works. Not the torque wrench, the human torque wrench technique definitely works. eventually, I'm gonna have to get a better camera and show you guys how to do that really well. Freaking, I got that from Eric the car guy. If any of you guys haven't subscribed to his channel, do it, because he says that you can get really close to the test. You could put it to the test at home if you have your own tools. You can get damn close. The first time I was right on, but I had the camera off. I thought it was gonna be a waste of time, but I'm still fascinated by that you can remember what it feels like almost to the foot-pound. Anyway, we're gonna tighten these all down to 14 foot-pounds with my human torque wrench technique, and we're gonna see exactly how close we're not gonna try to see how close we get. We're just gonna tighten them down to 14 foot-pounds because we have to get this shit out of here. So we're gonna use my patented, no, this isn't patented, cheater bar, this thing again with the extension. Unfortunately, I might get it. No, we have to use the long extension, but 10mm socket. We're gonna start tightening those down. All right, so we're gonna finish up these main caps and get going on the road. Here's my new torque wrench, my other new torque wrench. It has to have this attached to it to work properly though. This is so I get the same kind of leverage that I was getting on there. The difference is this extension adds a lot of play, but you can actually feel it twist and you kind of guess how far you have to turn it for it to feel right. Conduct your own human torque wrench experience or experiment and see what you get, because I mean I think you'll be fairly shocked that, you know, freaking how accurate you can really get with these things. Yeah, it feels like that's already tight, actually. I'd say that that's already tight. It's still a little bit sketchy because of this extension. It's so small, and it's a little bit quicker to make you guess where you're at in a fatter one. It's twisting, like I can feel it twisting. Hopefully safer going further than that, which is, for me, a sign. And I'm not putting a lot of torque on these, mind you. I can turn them way harder, but I'm not. Let's put 14 right there. The easiest way to do this, if you're in my situation and you don't have a torque wrench that will let you, or an adapter or a socket that will let you torque these using your torque wrench. The way that I do the whole human torque wrench technique is I imagine the click going off in my head, like where it feels like from how I'm pulling, if it should be clicking or if it should have already clicked by now. So that's what I go off of. That mental click in your head, it's almost like kind of singed in there if you practice. Do it 2 or 3 times in a bolt like I just showed you guys earlier. Once you get to that point where it's clicking in your head, I'll say probably 90% of the time you're going to be right within 4 or 5 foot-pounds. Not even 4 or 5 foot-pounds. I'd say if you go with your instincts in that click and you stop right then, alright, get those, you'll be probably right on the money every single time. So the difference would be half a foot-pound, which is very negligible. Click. Or I felt click, but it kind of loosened up after that. And wow, that feels nasty. That stuff is dry. Alright, we're not doing that anymore. We're gonna leave that one be, or take it out and oil it and then put it back in there. That's completely messing me up. But anyway, we're gonna take that one out and oil it and put it back in. That's how you do your main caps. You don't, when they're snugged up already, you really don't have to follow a pattern. Mainly because these aren't together. Okay? Really the bottom line. These aren't all part of one part. The camshaft is, but the camshaft moves. I mean, if you had a high performance build that might matter for this. Bolt the shit on there. Get on with your life. Yeah. And tap these a little bit to get in the seat. This is my own OCD because I saw it in Jafro's videos. So, pretty sure it's completely unnecessary right now. So, anyway, there's the main caps. Now we're going to start working on the cooling system. Alright, so I was going to install the radiator, then I thought about it, and the exhaust isn't in yet. I usually like to start the car before I put the exhaust back on, just to make sure that, you know, timing's right, everything else. But today we're going to just do the exhaust first. I should have grabbed the exhaust manifold gasket, but I completely forgot to. So, to get this ready for the exhaust, this is all old stuff. Exhaust is actually pretty forgiving in most cases, but me personally, I prefer to just go over and scrape all these ports down. Be careful not to angle this too much and gouge it. Also, be wary of how straight your blade is. That matters. If your blade has nicks in it, you can gouge the surface on here pretty easy. So be wary of that, and be wary of how much pressure you're putting down to avoid gouging your blade. So I'm going to scrape this real quick. We're going to go to fast forward. I really hope my software has fast forward. If it doesn't, you guys might just have to watch this whole thing. But we're going to scrape this out. Oh, I could always butcher it. Just cut some of the talking out, because anybody who knows me that knows that that's my favorite thing to do, is listen to myself talk. But anyway, here we go. First, get this scraped. And if it looks like I'm gouging that stuff, no, those are actually just high points, okay? Whoever did this last either used a putty scraper, because I know this blade's good. I did use it on the cylinder head. Usually I replace them right after, but it was perfect. It was pretty much flat after that. So I know this is pretty good. Not only that, if it wasn't good, you see a whole bunch of scratches. I see a little one there, but that's flat. It's not angled. If I had a piece of paper, I'd show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So, mating surface almost done. And it's not going to get pretty. It may still be a little bit rough. You don't need gasket sealant on your exhaust. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. So don't waste your time and don't waste your money. Exhaust seal pretty good. Especially when you find a gasket for it. Nope, that's not it. That's why I like being prepared. I don't like looking stupid on YouTube. Lock that twice. So, how can you tell what your exhaust gasket looks like? A, it's always shiny. Always. Just because it deals with higher temperatures, it goes through a lot more abuse. Your exhaust gasket will always be slightly thicker, well actually quite thicker, and shiny. Here's the exhaust gasket, and this is a pretty damn good exhaust gasket. It's multi-plate, so I mean there's very little chance of that leaking. Usually I like to wipe this stuff down, but feeling all that, that's really just stains. There's no ridges. No ridges at all. Move my freaking gasket out the way so you guys can see. No ridges at all. So what we're going to do, slight ridge there and there. So we're going to go back over that, and then we're going to put this on. And it doesn't have to be super clean. It's an exhaust gasket, trust me. It's going to get dirty over here in this part, regardless of what you do. If you sterilize it to where you can eat off of it, it will still get dirty. You want this clean and flat. Stains don't matter that much. These things are pretty determined to seal, in my experience anyway. Every car I've worked on. Ooh, shit. Make sure you get the flat too. There we go. Boom. Okay, one thing you want to do before you mount your exhaust is get rid of this bolt right here. That actually holds your shield to the block of the engine. If the owner was here right now, I told her that this would be a perfect time to change your oil. Engine has no oil in it. Filter's right there. We could pop that off, throw a new filter on there, new oil. I'm not sure if she has the money or if she just doesn't want to deal with it right now. This is pretty much her only vehicle, so generally speaking, this is what you want to take the most care. Yeah, and this thing's heavy. Be prepared for that. This thing has a lot of weight for just a simple manifold. My manifold's probably twice the size of this and half the weight. That's probably why my car's broken. But boom, that's all there is to it. Grab your bolts, put them on finger tight, get them ready to go in. I actually have the other exhaust bolts on the bottom end. I plugged up down there with the plastic bag so nothing fell on there and clogged up the cat. All the other bolts are on there. You might want to check that before you bolt it down. And I have 4 bolts here. I think I have 2 more on one stud that actually came out. But we're just going to finger tight these and then come back and run them down. Okay, 2 more bolts. Where are my exhaust bolts? Messing with my exhaust. I found them. They go under there. Right there. Alright, so with all these bolted in, pretty much the manifold's done. So don't think that you have any extra steps to do. This manifold's really simple. This is one thing that Toyota didn't screw up at all. I actually like this manifold. I actually like this Toyota. Don't tell anybody that though. Okay, so I kind of skipped a little bit on you guys. I'm not trying to cheat you guys out of an experience, but my card literally holds, well, my camera. It's crappy quality. You're probably hearing some weird whining sound right now. It's because it's a crappy camera. No offense, camera, you're working wonderfully. You know, I can't really. Every 7 minutes, I have to stop and clear the card, save it to my laptop, and then come back and film again. So I'm not trying to cheat you guys. I know that some of you like to watch every single thing be performed. It's the type of person I am. So I'll try to bring as much as I can as possible. Just so you know, I'm doing this bolt right back here. Let you guys see it. Right there. Right there. Damn. That bolt right there. Barely see it. So tightening that one down. I don't do torque specs on these. Just FYI. It's an exhaust. Exhaust are they really don't give a shit what you torque them at, as long as you don't torque the shit out of them and strip the bolts out from the cylinder head, because it's aluminum. You know, you just torque them down, get them snug. They don't have to be ridiculously tight. Just good and snug to where it feels like it can hold the exhaust gases, keep them flowing right. And usually that's all it takes to keep an exhaust happy. So I'd say probably in the neighborhood of, what? You really wanted to know, you could go online and look. Me, I'm torquing them probably to, what, 20 foot-pounds, 25 foot-pounds. Not torquing them real hard because they're in a cylinder head. But that's it for the exhaust. Now we have to do this part of the exhaust. How I'm gonna film this, you guys, I don't know. So if I don't film it, please don't be mad at me. I did a whole bunch of other stuff without filming. Pretty sure I'm already gonna hear about that. So forgive me. Ask for that ahead of time. Be careful not to drop these bolts in the exhaust. I should have actually left that bag in there. I have a light now. Where's my light? Where's my, Oh, you call that a lot? That's not a lot. That's a lot. Will it stick? Nope, won't stick. So, there we go. Kind of light the way a little bit. So, take these out. There's 3 bolts in the bottom end. Like I said, careful not to drop them in the exhaust tube. I should have left that plastic bag in there. But I'm going to be hard-headed and not take my own advice. There's actually a bracket down there I need to bolt in first. I'm probably going to end up doing that off camera. Sorry, but it's really hard to film into this car. Yeah, you know what, that bag's going back in there for now. Because that's right in the spot where it could fall in there. It's the last thing I need. So, and doing this, guess what? Because I did this, I don't have to go looking for nuts and bolts. It makes life that easy. You know? Not only that, once you take something apart, generally speaking, you kind of know where everything is. So, and this is probably all going to be fast forwarded anyway. So, you'll probably hear me talk a little bit, not a lot. Where is that exhaust bolt that I just pulled out? Big fat one. What did I do with it? Did you guys see what I did with it? Oh, I think it fell. That's what fell. Oh, crap. Yay! I see it. Do you guys see it? It's right there. Right there. So let's grab that real quick, because we need that. Come on, baby, I need you. My forearms are too buff and muscular. Come on. Ow, ow, ow. Shit, my arm's almost stuck in this thing. It's sharp. Ow. That hurt. And the piece to resistance. There. Right there. And I think that's a 14 too, so be prepared. Make it perfect. Left hand is not digging turning bolts today. So left hand's gonna be the filmer. Filmographer, mechanic stretched right now. See if we can get it to where you guys can see what's going on. See if we can get it to where I can see what's going on. Okay, there we go. I think this is going to end up being on the ratchet. Make life a little bit easier. Alright, so I ran into a little hiccup. Threading that bad boy in is a little bit more difficult than it may seem at first. And it's because there's a little... Let's see if I can point it out. Ah, damn it. That light was perfect too. Come on. Well, you can do it again. You can do it again. Okay. That little thing, little bracket on the back right here, it bends. So when it does bend, it's going to bend it off center with this thing, and this thing is very particular about how you start this bolt. So grab your breaker bar, whatever you can, bend it inward, and then pound it down or to the side or pry it up, whatever you have to do to get it in there. I just thought I'd give you guys a heads up on that, because that probably took me like 10 minutes to get that lined up properly. So it's in now, but I mean, that's something you may run into, so I decided to, you know, make sure that you guys know that that can be a pest. So be ready for that. And it's 14 mil, by the way, 14 millimeter.